and welcome back to all my dear students. I am Rabinshu Sharma, Assistant Professor in Department of Journalism and Mass Communication of Babu Banarsidass University, Lucknow. So, in my last video, I have discussed with you about the history and the growth of radio in India. So, now we will be starting here with the second module of the radio journalism and production. So, the second module starts with the first topic. So, the first topic of the second module is Internet radio. So in this video, we will be talking to you about the internet radio. What is internet radio? Like what is web radio? You can say what is e-radio and how does it works? What are the advantages of internet radio? What are the disadvantages of internet radio? Like what is audio streaming? We'll be just discussing in short about the podcasting because for the podcasting I'll make another video because it's a very vast topic and you need to know in this 2020 podcasting is booming day by day. So I'll make another video for that. So in this video we will be also discussing about the how to set up this internet radio. What does it cost if one is planning to set up internet radio? How does it works? What are the giants that are working for the internet radio? What are the links that you can access to the internet radio? So let's start with the presentation and we'll come to know a lot of quite interesting things, because when a radio comes to our mind we just get imagine like we have a small radio piece in our hand. By using the earphone or the loudspeaker mode we are listening the internet, but without like radio, like you can also access the radio with the help of the internet. But if you say if one does not have the internet and he or she want to access the radio internet, then you cannot access, because radio, for internet that is a basic need, that thing that you need to access the internet. Okay, so let's get started with the presentation. This internet radio. So before starting this, this is the first slide. I'll discuss with this about the what is internet. What is internet radio? See, I think internet is clear to everyone. Every one of us is accessing the internet. What is internet? So that's international network. We can access to anything, like we can search, we can access video, audio, anything. So internet radio is radio and internet. It's collaboration of the two words, internet radio. We are accessing radio with the help of the internet. Okay, so internet radio, it's also, you can say it's a web radio, or you can say it's a net radio, or sometimes you can say it's a streaming radio, because streaming is there, but not, you can say live streaming. Live streaming is different thing, and the streaming is online with accessing the available content. Also you can say it's a e-radio or e-radio webcasting. Again, it's a new word, website casting. You're again streaming something on the radio or with the help of internet. Then so internet radio is an audio service that is transmitted via internet. What internet is used again? So internet radio is audio service that is transmitted by the help of internet. Internet radio involves streaming media presenting listeners with continuous stream of audio that cannot be paused or replayed, much like traditional broadcast in media. In this respect, it is distinct from one demand file serving. Okay, so it's like it is like a radio, because if you see in the traditional radio or the real-time radio, like you cannot pause the thing, you cannot replay a particular thing. So this is, you can say it's similar with the traditional radio that one is using. So the unique point is that you are using internet to access these things. Internet radio involves streaming of media presenting listeners. When one is accessing through the internet, then he or she is accessing the content of the radio with the continuous streaming of the audio. There's no pause, no replay, no playback. Like you cannot replay something like back again and again. You just, if you miss the content, then you missed it. So much like traditional broadcast media in this respect, it's distinct from on-demand file serving. It was pioneered by Carl Malamud in 1993. It's a very important name, Carl Malamud, because for the examination purpose, many times it happens in one mark question who it comes like who pioneered the internet radio, and it's a very famous. Just the name you should remember, and the year that is 1993. There is no transmitter. It's like imagining a radio without transmitter is what then what how you will transmit. So internet is having everything like transmitter, receiver, distribution, everything. So transmitter is not involved here in the internet radio. Signals are distributed, that is distributed wirelessly, and audio service is transported by via internet. So signals are wirelessly distributed with the internet, and the audio service, that is the main thing of the radio, that is transported by the internet. Audio is transported through an audio codec or encoder. It's a device of computer programming capable of coding and decoding a digital data audio streaming of audio. So it's a just device, you can say, that is used to transport the audio through the codec or the encoder, you can say. So how it is different from the podcasting? Many times people gets confused because in podcasting also internet is involved. And if you talk about the web radio or the internet radio, the internet is required in both the cases. So generally people gets confused, but both have the different meaning. Internet radio is also distinct from podcast, which involves downloading rather than streaming. Many internet radio services are associated with the corresponding traditional or that terrestrial radio station. But in internet radio is also distinct from podcasting, because in podcasting you can download things rather than streaming, but in internet radio you cannot download the things. Okay, and many internet radio services are associated with the corresponding traditional radio station. So many times it happens people gets confused, so you don't need to confuse. Internet radio services are usually accessible from anywhere in the world. You can access the radio service anywhere, you just need to have the internet. For example, one could listen to an Australian station sitting in Europe, like we are sitting in India, we can also access the Europe program sitting in India. Some major networks restrict listening to in the country because of music licensing and advertising concerns. The advertising policies different countries have different policies, so that's why they restrict the some of the programs of the like Australia or Europe or the other countries. You cannot access a particular country internet radio, because that includes the advertisements also while streaming the internet radio. Coming to the advantages of the internet radio, yeah, when we discuss about the internet radio, then always there are a few advantages and a few disadvantages of the internet radio. So let's start with the advantage of the internet radio. Traditional radio station broadcast are limited by two factors. The first one, the power of station's transmitter, typically 100 miles. The available broadcast spectrum, you might get a couple of dozen radio stations locally, so it's advantage. Internet radio has no geographical limitations. The potential for internet radio is as vast as cyberspace itself. Again, there's no geographical limitation, no particular range you can access. There's no boundary to access the internet. If you are if you are in a particular country and your country is following those rules and you have internet access, if you're in another country also and your your country is following rules of the other country, the ads policies and the copyright and licensing, so you can access. There's no geographical limitation to the internet. The potential of the internet radio is as vast as cyberspace itself. Internet radio is not limited to audio. See, when we talk about the radio, internet, then audio thing comes. So it's not limited to audio. The internet radio broadcast can be accompanied by photos or graphics, text, and links. as well as interactivity such as message board, chat room. This advancement allows a listener to do more than listen, because initially when radio started with the motto that it's an oral sensation, people listen to the radio, only one sense is getting involved, that is a way we are listening, and we can do the other things also. So radio has a unique USP, unique points with this, so people have them in mindset, they have, we are listening, listening, listening. But if you talk about the radio, text, graphics, these things are related with the audiovisual. Then the TV come, they relate these things with the TV, chat room, text, chat. So this internet radio, you are accessing through the internet, and the internet you are accessing through the laptops or the computers, and your computer or laptop is having a screen. So screen, you have the screen. Then when you access the radio, then something you will see in front of your screen. So to engage the audience, to engage the listeners, then what the internet radio service providers, the companies, they do, they plan some chat box so that you can chat, you can give your own views, you can share your ideas regarding the programs that are being broadcast. So that you can get the more interactive point, and you can like you'll get more comfortable with internet radio, because here you are listening and you are chatting with the your RJs, and like you can sending the messages, you can send the links, you can send the graphics, and you are also accessing the graphics. Like for example, a program of particular topic is going on the radio internet, and you are seeing some graphics of that particular in the thumbnail in that particular program showtime, and the text also you are seeing the links, you are the other things. So the advancement of this thing allows the listener to do more than to listen. So obviously listening is more, and these visual things are less, but this is somewhere one of the advantage of the internet radio. The cost of the cost of getting on air is less for internet broadcaster. Yeah, again, if you talk about the traditional radio broadcaster, you need to have a lot of money to start radio, to go on air, to buy the licenses, to buy the transmitters and the various satellites and blah 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 things. So here in internet, you just need your system and the internet broadband, a good connection. So the cost of getting on air is less for internet broadcaster. Internet radio can appeal to micro communities of listeners focused on the specific music or the interest. Yeah, many times it happens there are communities, but in traditional radio you cannot find the community easily. If you talk about the community radio, that's a different thing. But if you talk about the radio communities, yeah, that's not very easy to locate. But if you talk about the internet radio, they can appeal to micro communities easily. Traditional radio can also appeal to micro communities, but this traditional internet radio can appeal to micro communities of listeners on focused on especially music and the music or the interest very easily. Coming to the disadvantages of radio, if you see there are disadvantages of radio internet are also there. So let's see what are the disadvantages of radio internet. Since all of these radio stations are visited by listeners looking for free music, looking for free entertainment, so they do not necessarily contribute to the revenues of the station. So bearing few successful internet radio station, no one has had considerable success with advertising generated revenues. Yeah, to get more stable and the other thing, you need to have a good revenue. Like if you're getting the advertisement, you are getting generating the revenue. But if you talk about the internet radio, you cannot visit the station. Like if you talk about traditional radio, one can visit the station. Many time it happens a private radio station, they make programs, games. If you win the game, then you have to visit a radio station and you can collect a gift hamper from there. So it's like things over like that. So but here in internet radio, things, all the radio stations are visited, but in internet radio, see, one cannot go easily visit, and stations are visited by listener looking for free music and entertainment. They do not necessarily contribute to the revenues of the station. So And internet crashes many times. It happens when internet, if a particular internet service provider has a tie-up with the radio station, and if server is down or the internet connectivity is not there for a particular day, so and on that particular day you cannot access the internet radio, so internet crashes, one of the disadvantages of the internet radio. So now a very good question comes to all of our mind, like how does it work? If we talked about the advantages, we have talked about the disadvantages, we have talked about the radio, internet. How does it work? This is very important. So let's see how does it works. There are two ways to deliver audio over internet: downloads or streaming media. See, these are the two things. You can deliver your particular recorded file to the audience, the people. If we talk about the first case, that is downloads. So in downloads, an audio file is stored on the user's computer. Like when you click on the link, the file gets automatically downloaded to the particular user laptop or the desktop. The compressed format, that will be like MP3. It's the most popular form of audio download. Wave is also very famous, but it's uncompressed, or you can say it's the file size is more. So generally, people use, or by default when download things, to leave the skip the problems of the space, or the skip the problem of the internet connectivity. MP3 is preferred more, but it's get easily downloadable and it's compressed, so it's easily downloadable, and the quality is also fantastic. So compressed formats like MP3 are the most popular form of audio downloads, but any type of audio file can be delivered through a web or FTP, that is file transfer protocol. Right. Streaming audio is not stored but only played. So this is again, you can say it's a problem, not a problem. Streaming has its own value, like so you have two options, that is downloading and streaming. But streaming is not stored, so you don't have to upload a file. The user is downloading a file, you just have to stream. You have to just throw the signals of the video audio on a particular track, and the particular person is accessing those station, then he is getting the content. And if he's not streaming, downloading, accessing those content, then he skipped, he cannot get the program back. Like it's like a real time thing. So streaming of audio, it's a real time thing. The audio enters the internet broadcaster's encoding computer through a sound card. So sound card is very important hardware that is used for to set up the internet radio station. The encoder system translates the audio from the sound card into streaming format. The encoder samples the incoming audio and compress the information, so that it can be sent over internet. Again, it's a very important line. Let me repeat this line. The encoder samples the incoming audio and compress the information so that it can be sent over internet. It's like coding decoding process, you can say. The compressed audio is sent to the server is everything gets stored. So which the server is obviously, it will have a very high bandwidth connection to the internet. The server sends the audio data stream over the internet to the player software or plugin on the listener's computer. The plugin translates the audio data stream from the server and translates it into the sound heard by the listener. So this is some process how this generally internet radio works on. Creating an internet radio station. If you talk about the how to create or how to set up internet radio station, we have studied how does it work. So now let's see how you can create a radio station. You need a CD player, you need a Ripper software, okay, copies of audio tracks from a CD onto a computer's hard drive. Actually, this CD drive in the hard CD player. These things were used earlier, but if you talk about it nowadays, everything is available online. So you can plan for the storage. You can plan a cloud or storage, or you can plan your computer with the 2, 3, or 5 TB hard disk. You can store all the tracks, and you can download the sounds free, or you can purchase the licensed SFX sound effects online, and you can store. But earlier, what happened? Reaper software is used copies of audio tracks from the CD are extracted from the computers and stored onto a hard drive. Assorted recording and editing softwares, so special recording softwares and the editing softwares that are used to do the voiceover, to mix the voice tracks and the make plan produce the music. Then next you need a microphone of very good quality, so that you won't access the boom, like you won't access the ambient sound. Try to be it should be like a unidirectional mic, so access the sound from the one direction. And audio mixer, so again a very like whole heart of the radio studio station. Audio mixer, outboard audio gear, equalizer, compressor, etc. Digital audio card, dedicated computer with encoder software, streaming media server. So this is all you need about things to set up the internet radio station. So what is the scenario in India? If we talk about in India, what's the scenario? Internationally, many of the offline radio players have understood the power of this medium and have live or recorded internet streaming available. If you about the India, like in India, with its numerous music copyrights regulations issues, this phenomena has not been duplicated. Like some radio stations, though, have put up the clippings of their programs on the internet for free download. So this was the scene in India. If you talk about internet radio in Kerala, like radiogeolocas.com, it's a site. Is the world's first 24 hours global radio in Malayalam. It symbolizes a pioneering a new chapter in Malayalam entertainment. So Malayalam entertainment people from the south of the India, they generally have the interest in. But if you talk about the people of the North India, they don't have a lot of interest in the Malayalam language. Even many of them don't know what the language is, they won't understand, so they won't access. And now it represents the foot tapping in music throughout the day. Like so, if you talk about the radiograpes.com, it's again at the 24 hours online Malayalam internet radio celebrates the Malayali music. Radiograpes.com, within a short span of time, has achieved international popularity, especially amongst Malayalis living and working abroad. You see Live 365, again it's a very non-profit radio station, live365.com. It's a non-profit radio station. It plays Malayalam Christian radio program. So if you talk about the radio in mobile, like Tata offered a few years back a unique combination of internet and radio on mobile device. The company will have offered the service through Brew, an application that connects to a bouquet of 2041 international and the local radio station. It will also, like they have it's in the past thing, they have also offered the users to they can enable and download the music and ringtones from the internet. If we talk about this Sifi, they have also had tie-up with the Radio City 91.1 FM by integrating Planet Radio City web studio to launch radio on Sifi. So they have a very good concept in radios and internet, and the radio studio is a traditional radio, so they can access the things on the internet. Planet Radio City was a joint collaboration of the Sifi Technologies and Radio City 91.1. So this tie-up enabled visitors to Sifi.com enjoy Bollywood, indie, pop, and the other genres of the music 24 into 7. How much would it cost to set up? Like generally, people talk about the cost. So let's see how much does it cost to if you see to set up the radio station. The cost. varying from product to product. Yeah, this cost will vary. If you see for the product, see, you can plan the cost as per your budget. Like if you have a good budget, you can buy the mics of the Bose or the Sennheiser of the good quality in the high price. But if you have a budget low, then you can go for the cheaper brands and the local brands also. But try to go for the middle range so that you can not compromise with the audio quality. The setup cost will include the four things, five things you need. You can buy it from the anywhere, from the wholesale market or from the retail market, but you have to take few things, like you have to invest on the hardware, you have to invest in the softwares for the recording and for the editing purpose and for the mixing and for the on air, going on air, you need a software again, and you need a hosting platform server, you need a proper place for the hosting, and you need a licensing software, like so that you can get all those you can come out from all the limitations of the software. So trial version is not necessary, so you have to purchase the licensed software, if any software. And the third party hosting, if you need space or more, or you hosting service, the primary one is not sufficient, so you need a third party hosting server. These are the things, hardware, softwares. And but the cost, if you talk about the exact cost, that is difficult to tell right now, but because people are planning things branded or some are planning local made, so that will definitely change your cost. How do listener access it? This is again a very big question. How the listeners are accessing the content? See, listeners can access an internet radio station just by going online and connecting to a radio station address. Just have to press the live icon, whatever is available, and they will get the thing. Streaming, this form of broadcast, again, initially I have said the audio can be, the radio can, or internet radio can be accessed by the two mode, that is, you can download the audio file or you can stream the audio file. So this form of broadcast presents listener with a continuous stream of audio that typically cannot be paused or replayed. It's like the traditional broadcast media that happens if you talk about the radio or if you talk about the TV. It's like things are like the same. So if you see this image, it's a wonderful it's a chart, flowchart, like how streaming of the video and the audio works. See, it's a basic streaming process. If you see in the first step, user visits a web page hosted on a web server and finds a file he like to see or he like to hear as per his interest, demand, or whatever. So first he access the server. Second, web server. A web server sends a message to a streaming media server requesting the media server for the particular specific file that is requested by the client or the listener. Then the third step is media server. That's a main important thing. Server is everything. So the streaming server streams the particular file to the user computer by passing the web server. So when it is requested from the server, then server pass those particular files as it's required. Then the fourth, the client software on the user computer that decodes and plays the file, the plugins that are used by the files that will easily make access the content from the server to the client. So this is a four-step process. This is a small process. It will tell you how streaming of the audio or the video really works. So these are some umbrella internet radio sites, these categories sites that host number of internet radio stations. So let's see, there are four right now. Its first one is iradioportal.com. The second one is radiorage.com. The third one is www.webradio.com. The fourth one is that internetradio.com. So these are the four some umbrella internet radio sites that you can visit. The site, the category host a number of radio internet. So there are more also, but these are four generally reference you can access. You can check the links. So I would say thank you for watching this video. I hope you must have lot of new things about the internet radio. The internet radio is new, but you can say podcasting and the narrowcasting, these things are new. But podcasting is very new in 2020. At least you can go and access all the things. But internet radio is good, and it was good because people are accessing these things in for the different purpose. I think you have got a lot of new ideas about the internet radios, advantages and disadvantages of the internet radio was very easy. And if you see the streaming, this streaming is again a very easy process of the radio. If you talk about setting up a radio station for internet radio, and if you see the accessing the content is easy and the same process. Like if you're using a traditional radio, you just have to set the frequency and listen the program. If you are accessing the podcasting, you have to download the app or download the things. Like if you talk about the internet radio, you just have to log into a website of the internet radio. You just have to request what about your particular interest, and you can access the streaming or you can download the files. So I hope you must have liked this video. You must have liked this video. You got the things like about to set up the cost. The cost is thing I cannot tell you exactly what the cost it will be there for the internet radio, because everything happens just about the brand and the quality of things that you're using and how you are setting up a station. You have the interior or not, you have the desk or the things like that. So exactly cost I cannot tell, but yeah, but like you can purchase the hardware, you can purchase the software and the hosting service, and these things required. Marketing about the promoting branding about the internet radio, that's again a new thing. So people focus on these things to promote the programs more about these things. So I hope you must have liked this video. If you like the video, please like, share, subscribe. In my next video, I'll try to tell you about the internet, this radio podcasting, amateur radio, and the narrowcasting. So please be in touch and have a look to my channel. And still you have any question regarding this internet radio, and if you are planning to set up an internet radio, and if you feel any question, you query, then please write to me here on the comment section, and I'll try to solve this query. And so be in touch. Thank you for watching my video, and this was Ravinshu Sharma. Thank you so much.